Okay, thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, Derek Lane, for another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, listen, took a week off, did some traveling, seeing a little bit of the world, a little bit of the country anyway. And had a great time taking some time off, which leads me to today's topic. And so sit back. We're going to get into something called ecotherapy. Interesting. Okay, well, let's get started, shall we? Let's go with this. Okay, ecotherapy, if you're not familiar with the term, basically it means nature, being in tune with nature, getting out into the world and experiencing nature, whether it's hiking, biking, camping, just being outdoors and enjoying being outside. Oftentimes we're so caught up in our offices, our computers, just this technology world that we live in, or in our cars. We never get an opportunity to slow down and set the phones down and enjoy life outside of, our home and our office. Being outside, being outdoors. So it was a great experience for myself, for my wife and I, which, like I say, we took some vacation time to travel through some parks and recreations and forestries. It was a great time, really great time, and just felt at peace and want to share my experience and the benefits of ecotherapy. Now, as many of us are well aware, being outdoors creates a different atmosphere for us. Again, being in tune with nature, it seems that we need to spend time outdoors. Here's the nice thing about this: ecotherapy. It has proven scientific benefits that have been identified, as to why we need a more natural setting. A 2009 study found that the closer someone lived to a green space or natural area, the healthier the person was likely to be. How cool is that? In fact, those who live closer to parks and nature preserves or even just wooded areas are less likely to suffer from anxiety or depression. Heart and stress benefits. Other studies have found those who spent time hiking or resting in a forest had measurably lower cortisol rates, heart rates, blood pressure. ADD and ADHD have been studied with the effects of ecotherapy and what we call nature deficit disorders. There's a lot of fancy terminology that goes into this, and I'm sure you can find studies on everything. But I just found this to be very interesting. Now, seeing that if you have a child or yourself, you suffer from ADHD, being outdoors necessarily isn't a cure, but it lessens the extremism of it. Also, ecotherapy helps with sleep. Studies have found that your more immune system has better functionality and lower rates of stress-related disorders and better sleep. Okay, we all know, gardeners or people that love to garden or, plants and vegetables or whatever. And for the longest time, we know that those people typically live longer. They're closer to nature. So, how time outdoors makes us healthier? Well, if you've been cooped up for an extended period of time, just to feel the need to get outside, turns out that there are a lot of other benefits. Number one, we all know that vitamin D is important to your health and to your body, and the only way to get vitamin D is through sunlight. The deficiency of vitamin D has been linked to a lot of types of cancer and obesity, as well as mental disorders and some health problems. But vitamin D through sunlight, you've experienced that long winter where people say they've got cabin fever. I got to get out. I got to get outdoors. I can't be cooped up any longer. I need that sunlight. I need to be outdoors. I can't be cooped up any longer. And oftentimes when you're outdoors enjoying the parks and recreational areas, you're exercising. If it's just walking some trails, a lot of people swim and hike and even canoe, and those things are beneficial as well. And there's always, if you look it up, there's always a park or a recreational area, a forestry somewhere near you. Check it out. Ecotherapy, it's good for you. It's good for the body. It's good for the soul. It's a good place to cleanse your thoughts and let nature help you out. Native American Indians, they would send, when their young became mature and the boys became men, they would send those boys out for not only just we've heard of Vision Quest, but to be one with nature, to learn how to extract the benefits of nature. One thing they did was spend a day with your back up against a tree and just allow nature to become one with you in your soul. You ever walked outside barefoot on the grass? There's terminologies now for everything, right? But this is known as grounding, and some people call it earthing. But you basically just, you go outside, you touch and become not just an observer, but you become in nature. You become a part of nature and allow the grass and the leaves and, direct contact to, take a positive charge to your system. A lot of proponents of earthing or grounding report that it helps inflammation of the body and improves sleep quality. Whatever your opinion of that is, it's another positive side effect of being outdoors, especially like say barefoot or swimming in a natural body of water. Okay, goodness gracious, we all know that we could get more fresh air. Fresh air is good for us. With more facilities being airtight, with the insulation in windows and a plethora of chemicals and plastics we bring into our home, being outdoors is a healthy alternative to that. Spending time outdoors breaks from the indoor air pollution that you can have your home exposed to. Outdoor air quality is a source of beneficial negative ions, and places like the beach or waterfalls are especially good sources. These negative ions are also are present in sunlight, and after a thunderstorm, can't you smell the freshness in the air? Can't you just smell that? It's a great smell. The eyes, there's been some studies on the eyes as far as getting away from your TV and computer, but being outdoors helps rejuvenate the eyes. Spending outdoors in the morning, watching the sun come up, that is spiritual in and of itself. And there's been some studies, I think done by Northwest University, that found that the earlier that the participant got up in the morning light, the lower that participant's BMI, their obesity, their body mass index, right? So who knew that getting up and watching the sunrise will help you lose weight? Well, according to this, it does. Wow. Okay. That right there is an incentive. So anyway, does indoor light replace it? No, it's not. It's not the same thing. The best way to get the benefits of nature is to be out in nature, to be a part of nature, to experience it, walk it, smell it, touch it, just be a part of nature. It is just an awesome feeling. I can imagine that great artists like Monet and Van Gogh and that French Impressionism era. Why did they paint so many outdoor lilies and fields and outdoor cafes? Why did they do that? The beauty of being outdoors is tremendous. The beauty of nature, seeing what it has to offer. Even in the car while my wife and I were traveling through some of the forest, the canopy of trees, these winding roads that lead to mountaintops or valleys were just awesome to look at. Slow down, roll the windows down, and just listen to the forest. That, my friends, is what we call ecotherapy. It's good for the soul. We enjoyed every second of it. Every second of it. We consumed the beauty, drank it. It was just awesome. It's been said that nature is not capricious. It will not give to you, then take away. Nature will always give. You've got to be willing to accept it. You've got to be willing to allow it into your life. And it doesn't have to be in a majestic forest. It can be in your own backyard, your park around the corner. Again, all great places to be, to feel it. Just a wonderful avenue. The appreciation of life. We saw a lot of wildlife as well. Things you don't normally see. Even saw some bears. Didn't get too close, obviously, but very neat. Just like I say, it allowed us to allow all of the stress in our lives to just dissipate and just become more in tune. Okay, so anyway, I think I've gotten the message across there. I think that for anybody that's willing to, take a little adventure or just understand, ecotherapy and the benefits of it, I think you're going to be better off for it. This is not an exciting, breakthrough. It's been there all the time. It's all the while. It's been there for you. But sometimes you need somebody to point it out. And that kind of happened to me as well. In this case, I think it was just nature that pointed it out. It was something in my soul that said, go do the trip, go to, the outdoors. It's calling. It was calling. It is still calling. And I'm appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of everything that I got to enjoy and the benefits of it, and respectfully love the outdoors. So with that, guys, thank you. I know I missed you last week. Missed doing it. But, like I say, had a lot on my plate with the traveling and what have you. Back in the studio and set for your morning commute if you're listening in the morning, or if you're listening in the evening, what have you. It's great to have you along with me, and I appreciate it so much. Once again, I am your host, Derek Lane, for the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Thank you once again for listening, and for the folks that sent me an email. I appreciate you. Wondering, where was last week? But, as I explained, a little vacation time, and everybody understood. That was great. So thank you once again. Listen to me on all your major outlets, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, whatever. They're all out there. Email me, Derek at fastlanepodcast.com, Derek at fastlanepodcast.com. And